Hey Virgo, what's up? What's going on? This is Yvonne. You might know me as Luna with LT Reads. And today we're doing a little bit of a different style reading. I've been working on my automatic writing and I have written down some messages for you. And in order to determine whose read this was, I pulled a card, and you were the first to initiate and grace this series of readings. So I don't really know how this is going to go. I'm just going to kind of talk intuitively and hope that these messages come across in the way that I hope them to and that it helps somebody out there. So please take what resonates, flip switch the roles as you see fit. And without further ado, let's get into it, Virgo. So one of the first messages that I was channeling was the jumping spider and the weavers of fate. Spiders are the weavers of fate. The reason why I channeled the jumping spider was because I've been doing a lot of gardening as of late. And gardening is something that is very near and dear to my heart, but it is also something that I have abandoned for quite a long time due to, life's happenings, other responsibilities, just kind of changing and shifting my ways. But in doing so, I kind of lost sight of old passions. And seeing this jumping spider was kind of a recognition that with the spider being a weaver of fate, you may have the potential right now to go back to doing things that remind you of who you are, of what you love, of your past self. Okay? We have fear versus control, enlightenment versus empowerment here. And I feel like for you, Virgo, you do have a strong fear of something. And in order to harness that fear, you seek a sense of control. Now, when it comes to your fear, it's important to seek enlightenment, to figure out what it is that you truly fear. And when you are seeking control, is it truly for a sense of empowerment, or is it because of your fear? I think deciphering the difference between those two is really important for you in matters of personal, platonic, or even professional circumstances. Okay? We also have propagation, cultivation, dedication here, motivation. I think that there's a passion here, whether it's an endeavor that is, again, professional, personal, or platonic that you are trying to move towards. But there needs to be some type of transmutation of energy here, some type of shift. I think you've been manifesting this for a while. And I think that you are able to come to a sense of divine ascension through self-awareness. And gaining self-awareness isn't always easy. It kind of ties back into that fear that we're talking about, right? That fear versus control mentality. Now, through perspective, duality, and balance is how you're going to find that self-awareness, to decipher when you are being deceptive or being deceived with that deception there. Deception, whether you are doing it or it's being inflicted upon you, is going to be frustrating, right? And it's going to cause some type of imposition, some type of imbalance, and some type of confliction within you. Crumbs here. Through the confliction, you will have an epiphany, and that will be the epiphany will be the catalyst that will lead you to healing, to a vision, to what you want to be your future. It's going to take some dedication, effort to create that future vision, right? To do that healing, to move towards that destination that you want. And it may even take you stepping back and being recreational. Virgos are very strict, to the point. We have a schedule. We have, an agenda, an itinerary, this, that, and the other. But through recreation, playfulness, you find a new sense, a newfound sense, maybe, of ambition, determination. And through that, you can gain succession in whatever it is that you are striving towards. It's important to realize also that you are divinely protected. You may be in a sense of trying to protect yourself or others through isolation. isolation is not always a bad thing. Sometimes we do independently need that time to reflect upon our healing, right? So maybe that's the catalyst that needs to happen. And transmission, I'm not really sure why that came out. I meant to look into that further, but I'll just leave that there. Maybe I'll write a note about it in the comments. But let's move forward. Virgo. 1, 2, 3, 4 may be significant to you. 5, 5, 5 may be significant. 42 may be significant. I feel like through this epiphany that we were talking about, you will gain some type of transformation. These are messages that I've channeled, right? So they're a little bit randomized and kind of all over the place, but bear with me. We have, through this transformation, you're going to come upon some kind of emotional, spiritual treasure trove. For spiritual messages here, I received starfish, seashells, and pearls. We're going to go back to that. Actually, you know what? We're just going to go to it now. So with starfish, we got renewal, guidance, resilience, regeneration. I feel like you are going through a period with your healing of renewing yourself, of finding guidance within others and within trusting your intuition. And that is proving your resilience. You are regenerating like a starfish does. A starfish loses their limbs and they regenerate. They regrow into something even better and sometimes more beautiful. Perhaps that is a experience that you are going through now. You are, like I said, healing, trusting your intuition, finding balance, and protection. You being a protector is coming up very strongly, okay? You have a divine love that thrives within you, and there are infinite possibilities that can be created with that divine love. Next, with the, let's keep going, the seashells, we have resilience once again and protection once again. So the seashell represents a connection between physical and the spiritual realm. It's about life's journey, transformations, and rebirth. It also represents the goddesses, fertility, and prosperity. So I do feel like if you're able to harness this healing period appropriately, Virgo, you will come into prosperity. Okay, if you're also wishing to conceive, this may be a very good time to do so. With the pearls, we have wisdom, purity, inner transformation, from irritation to creation, beauty of emerging through different circumstances, intuition once again, and emotional balance. Balance, 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 protection, intuition. Resilience. These are all very prevalent themes within your reading. So I feel like through your experiences, Virgo, you have gained wisdom. You have learned purity and you're going through inner transformation. Has it caused a lot of irritation? Yes. But are you on the pathway to creation? Also, yes. There is a beauty of emerging through different circumstances. And whether or not you realize that now, that might be the struggle. If you were to look at yourself 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year ago, and compare yourself now, maybe you wouldn't notice the differences, but others on the outside looking in would. All right? Finally, we have purple, accidental ascension, royalty, riches, redemption, ruins returned and refreshed, realizing rot and rupture, remembering rust, rectification, and resolution. This is a lot about healing from the past. Realizing rot and rupture, where you have maybe held yourself accountable for past failures, maybe where you've received or recognized that from others. I don't know why I heard that is weird thing. And whatever healing process it is that you're going through, you will find resolution. Now, purple represents royalty, wisdom, spiritual enlightenment, and creativity, magic. Connection to higher consciousness and introspection equals transformation. So, all-encompassing, I feel like you are creating something for yourself. You're on at least the pathway of what that is. I'm not sure, but it's going to require a lot of shadow work, introspection to get to that transformation, to really see yourself with this whole newfound sense of strength and resilience that you truly harbor. Let's move over here. We have the hummingbird spirit. Be here now. It's important, kind of like what I touched on earlier, to reflect upon how far you have come, okay? And with the Three of Cups, rely upon relationships that bring you joy, stability, happiness, friends and family, maybe even coworkers that share the same wavelength, the same vibration as you. With the Hanged Man here, you are coming out of a period of independence and introspection and reflection, possibly healing when you're ready to connect and be more social. And with the King of Wands here, I feel like you are feeling more passionate towards either your career. Maybe you are endeavoring towards some type of entrepreneurial type of thing. So that's great. Or maybe you're just feeling more independent, or confident. But either way, strive towards your passions with conviction and know that you have taken the time to consider all facets, all sides of the coin here. Enjoy yourself and reunite and be with those, surround yourself with those who truly treasure and enjoy your company. Good luck.